I've done 2 fashion shows at Kensington Palace wearing jewelry worth millions, despite being short and not having model features. Being a model is something that a lot of people dream about, not including myself, but somehow I ended up doing a fashion show where I was a catwalk model for these 2 fashion shows. And it does not make sense because I am a short girl. I am 168. I do not have model features. If you look at my nose, it's not even straight. And I didn't have a portfolio. I didn't do a casting or anything, but somehow this happened. The backstory is that at the time that this happened, I was living in London and I was working as an au pair in a very wealthy family. I didn't come there primarily to be an au pair. That wasn't my own internal goal. I was just there to have the time of my life, and I saw that as a way to, not having to pay for your accommodation. So I was meeting a lot of friends, having so much fun, but obviously taking a lot of responsibility. I really loved the 2 boys that I was looking after. The mother in the family, the host mother, she was organizing an event and she was going scouting at these model agencies in London, and she wanted a concept where there was a fashion show, so she needed catwalk models, and then she wanted the models to mingle with the guests and sell basically the jewelry and the clothes. And none of the model agencies accepted that offer. They said, yeah, we can do the fashion show, but not the mingle part. And then she came to me and asked if I wanted to be a model and if I could bring my friends and do the fashion show. And I was like, sounds cool. Let's do that. And there was not even a casting. She didn't even need to see me walk in high heels. And I feel like just because she didn't need to see me walk in that way, and just because I invited my friends, it sounds like a low-key event. But it was at the Kensington Palace. The security was up the fucking roof. There was security for the jewelry as you see in Bond movies. You were signing papers, they were taking it with gloves, putting it on. It was very, very clear who had what jewelry, and there were millionaires there at this event. And it's so interesting looking back because at the time, that was like before social media. Since it was before social media, I was not as self-aware, meaning I didn't even practice walking in high heels. I didn't even think, how can I step into this model thing as I think I would do now. If I got the opportunity, I would be like, oh, what if I fall? What if blah, blah, blah. But at the time, I didn't even second guess myself. It was just like, sure, that sounds awesome. And I guess that was a part of the genius that I didn't even second guess myself. I didn't even think about the worst case scenario. It was just like having the time of my life. I even opened the first show. I don't know how I did that. And when I think about it, another thing was that I wasn't even supposed to wear the dress that I ended up wearing. The dress I ended up wearing had long sleeves and it was longer stocks, and I was the only girl wearing that. And the reason for that was because 2 nights prior I had been out clubbing and we had the time of our lives, and I ended up falling down a really steep stairs. So I had bruises all over me. And it sounds horrible, but it was actually a fun experience. It's insane. It must have been something that it was almost impossible to make me in a bad mood. So I was like, okay, shit, I fell down these stairs, have all these bruises, let's just take another dress. So what I'm getting at is that I believe that I attracted this opportunity because I was in a very good energy and I was really open to say yes to opportunities. It didn't scare me that it was an industry I had no clue about. I think that was also to my advantage almost, because I didn't know how unprepared I was. But it turned out great. I absolutely did some errors in the selling process of the mingle part, but the event turned out great. I just remembered that before the event, they were giving us, almost like tapas or some snacks that we could have before the event. And since we were normal girls, we weren't even models, we were like, oh my God, amazing. And we were like feasting on this. And apparently that was not very model behavior-ish. So the organizers were like, oh my God, if these girls are eating all this food, their breath is gonna be bad when they mingle with the guests. But we were like, why did you give us the food if we weren't even supposed to eat it? That makes no sense. Maybe you think that, okay, you were young and you had connections and that's why it happened. Yeah, sure. it might have something to do with that. But now I'm 34 and I just recently got into a very closed door event with super successful people without knowing a fucking soul. And I had just started thinking about my energy again. And I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. What's interesting is that none of those opportunities were soul aligned. It's nothing I've been dreaming about. It's nothing that I want to continue pursuing. Like, being a part of a closed community or being a model is not a dream of mine. But imagine being in that good energy that is open to attracting opportunities and then directing that energy to something aligned and taking aligned action. Imagine how fucking epic that can be. So if you haven't played around with being in a good energy, maybe do that and see what happens when you are in a good energy. What kind of opportunities are you attracting and what can you create from that space? Think about it. And I feel like nobody has the answers. Nobody knows. It's just like when you are in a good flow, good things come to you. And the opposite is also true. When you are in a bad energy, more bad things tend to happen. And I've been down that spiral as well. So my question to you is, how often are you in a good energy where you are in that creative space? And how can you take aligned action from there? And are you open to possibilities coming your way? I really hope you are. On another note, I'm doing this 21-day challenge and I believe that today is day 14 or 15. And today I'm having a lovely group call with my unicorn community and I can't wait to have that. And we are doing it on Discord for the first time and I always feel so happy, you know, meeting people. And it's so fucking amazing with this social media. You can find people from all over the world who are like you. Incredible.